Oh, hello, hello. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Very good. How did you sleep?
Um, I don't know.
Okay. This is a graph. It's on my website that I want you to take a look at. It is the cognitive core stages of change.
How did you sleep?
I'm dealing with some stuff and I'm, uh, it was not my best sleep.
I'm already a bad sleeper, so you know.
Yeah. Take a look at the graph that I sent you, the image. It's a
First one?
website. Yep. Well, there's only one image. Yep. Take a look
Yep.
at it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the cognitive core. We're going to be focusing on the beliefs that go into it. Actually, I don't. Oh, let me see here. I just realized that that one actually is a close up of what's going on. So let me get you the other one
Mm-hmm.
of the actual cognitive core. Yeah, I'll just do it here on the graph because I think I would prefer it here on the graph. All right. So let's take a look at the whiteboard.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you have, oh, this is beautiful. Okay, I don't know what these little arrows are, but they're cute.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is, if you think of it as a telescope. And this thing, can you see the graph okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is what we love. This is the first stage. And whenever we start building up or whenever we do build up, it's what we love. So you love cookie, you love music, you love makeup, you love your ringlets. There is no rhyme or reason for any of this. And that's the beauty of this. Now, as you define these, and this is really, really important, the more you define, the more you know you. To know you is to know what you love. You equals love. It is absolutely beautiful. When we are abused, we have what we love taken away from us. And that is the most disheartening, depressive, discouraging emotion there is. The next one is value. It's basically our ethics, or what we value. Not what our value is, but what we value. All right, I didn't know I had an extra thing in here. There we go. And this is where the 12 stages of growth comes in. So what happens is what you love based off of what ethics you value. If you value your autonomy, how your relationship is with authority, etc. And when those things combine, they create our beliefs. And that's what we're going to talk about right now. So love plus ethics equals beliefs. And that is your integrity. Now, there is no emotion at all in this process. None. That's important. It is an emotionless process. You might feel warm and fuzzy, and it's a very subtle warmth, but it's almost without emotion. If there is emotion, that's processing going on. If there's no processing going on, it's it's just a subtle warmth. Okay. The next one is your name. And your name is the summation, the summary of what you love, what you value, and what you believe. For instance, I'm going to use myself as an example here. I love story, talking, teaching, and entertaining. I love stages and theater. And I love information. So that's my loves. I value education and teaching. I value helping others and learning. And I just had an epiphany. I need to write this down, so give me just a second. What's going on here? That explains a lot. Helping others equals spending resources. All right. Now, my name is Oral Storian. And that's because what I love and what I value, and I believe that I should help others.
What's my name?
You have to figure that out. That is exactly what this is all about, is you have to figure it out. Now, you can have hundreds of names. In fact, the more names you have, the better you know yourself. Your name is the summation of this information. So I am an oral Storian. In summary, that means I love story, talking, teaching, entertaining, stages, theater, information. And I value education, teaching, helping others, and learning. And I believe that I should help others. My name is Oral Storian. Did you see how this shrinks like a pyramid? We start with, and that is the purpose. It is here under name that we know who we are. And I call that the knowing. When you have all of these things combined, you have your perspective. And this is your truth. That is what a perspective really is. It is your truth. It is your logic. It is very personal. In philosophy and in life, we are taught that truth is out here, and we are taught that it is defined and one. And the people who believe this are Christians, Jews, Islams, basically every religious person in the world. Everybody else believes this. And this is why we fight wars. This is the only reason, well, there's two reasons, but one is for resources. The other reason is this. This is it right here. It's everyone's trying to argue over what this defined truth is. That is what they are arguing about. There's a question out there. What is the defined one truth? And all these religions are claiming that it's theirs. Everybody else is saying it's not a defined one truth. It's subjective. Philosophers, scientists, artists, everybody else says that it's subjective. The problem is, for a religious person, let's speak specifically for a first, second, or third, or fourth perspective, if truth is not defined by one, then they don't get their way. So this is their way of projecting their base truth onto everybody else. It's a control. That's what's going on with this. So what you have over here, this is your cognitive core, is those beliefs. The beliefs is where everything goes wrong. And the reason why is because there is a way to access a person's perspective through the beliefs. Now, if you take a look at what we have on the website I just gave you, it now blows up beliefs, and you have external information going inside your beliefs. Now, there is an abuser's door between shock, denial, logical checks, and negotiations. Are you sure? That is where all of the abuse happens. All of it. And at some point, somebody, you either learned and internalized. Internalizing happens with beliefs. You internalized something, a logical fallacy, with food. Now, that logical fallacy is going to stay there until we figure it out and logically remove it. Okay. There's no way around it. That is present. We got to find it. Now, there are symptoms of a logical fallacy. And the symptoms are you don't eat. A symptom is you lose weight. A symptom is you feel sick. Now, therapy will sit there and address all of these things. Exposure therapy is a reconditioning. I'll show you what's going on here. This is what exposure therapy is. At some point, you received exposure to X, and that taught your cognitive core in the subconscious mind that food equals something. So exposure therapy basically has you re-expose yourself to a positive experience, so you will relearn a positive experience with food. But if this logical fallacy is in there, that's what you're up against. Now, I believe that it's not healthy to push exposure therapy against a logical fallacy, because now you've got these two things conflicting. This is important. You have logical fallacy and you have exposure. And when you have these two things coming together, you are going to get significant conflict or cognitive dissonance. And exposure therapy is do it in small doses until it changes. I say, why don't we address the logical fallacy? Because that's the problem. Now, I cannot go into your mind, but I can show you how to do this. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, this lovely little contraption is called the cognitive core. It is inside of your identity. It is the thing that defines identity. Kind of. Identity is love, but it's basically what keeps your entire system up and running properly. And if there's any faulty logic inside of it, your whole system is going to create an invasive perspective to create a new truth. I'm going to go ahead and move some shit around here so we can do this without all the clutter. Yeah, I'll put all my notes over here. All right. So now, when you have a limiting belief, it creates okay, that is so not what I want. There we go. An offshoot of the problem. It creates another invasive perspective. This is the first time I've written it out, and it looks interesting to see it. Okay. So this new belief creates a logical fallacy. So you're going to keep your actual belief. And this is the problem. The logical fallacy stays with the belief. It doesn't replace it. You have it in addition to. And then you develop an alternative name. And then you develop an invasive perspective. Now, this is what's going on, is you are now living off of this line. In order to get you back to this logical line, we have got to remove the logical fallacy, and that will remove all of it. Now, it's on this invasive perspectives that you've got the symptoms. Confirming. I'm just confirming. So yeah, this is it. So my technique is let's get to this belief and dig it out of you. Now, in order to do this, two things are going to happen. You've got the fear system playing a game in here. You've got the subconscious mind trying to keep you safe. And then you've got your symptoms. Which can interfere with your cognitive performance. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But I can't just explain all this to you. You got to understand it so you know what you're up against. Because I'm going to say again, I can't get into your head. I can show you what's inside your head, and you're going to have to do the work. And I can show you, I'll give you the full tour. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when I said to you that there's no emotion?
Mm-hmm.
That is your clue. Right there. That's the difference. A logical fallacy is highly emotional. Usually, panic, anger, and defensiveness. Okay? This right here is your clue. There's no emotion up here. When you have a clear cognitive core, there is zero emotion. Nothing. That's what calm is all of this is 100% pure logic, and there's no emotion. There's only emotion under two circumstances. When new, okay, why can't I do this? There we go. Information is being processed, and when a logical fallacy, we call them limiting beliefs, is being poked at. That's it. So whenever you get around a belief or a subject that makes you highly emotional, panic, anger, defensive, you found your logical fallacy. And that's where you need to go. You need to look closer at the why to find this. And then I'm going to walk you through it. So we're going to do this now. Okay? Let me see if I've missed anything. Does all of this make sense? Let's pause for a minute and reflect. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now, it does not matter what was done to you. Your subconscious mind is not going to want to do this. We have to manage your subconscious mind and your fear system. Now, I'm going to tell you what a logical fallacy really is, or a limiting belief. It's not. It is a fear that is in disguise as a belief, so you won't poke at it. True story, it's quite hilarious. The fear system has a collection of fears. What are some fears that you have that you know about? Like cars. You did have a fear of cars.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Getting sick.
There you go. Oh, well, and that makes sense now. All right. What else?
Disappointing people.
Yep. Do you feel shame right now?
What do you mean?
Do you feel shame or guilt right now?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm feeling.
That's okay. It's all right. So cars, rejection, getting sick. These fears are what I call level 2 or level 3 fears. They are so small that the fear system lets you know that they're fears. This is the kind of shit that the fear system is funny about. The fear system believes that if it puts these fears over here, it's basically an aversion tactic. This is how the fear system works. Leia needs to stay away from danger. God, this is such logic. What is going on here? Okay. If I make Leia scared, then Leia will avoid the danger. That's it. That's the logic of our beautiful fear system.
That makes sense.
So the fear system puts these fears right here. A level 1 fear is different. Okay. A level 1 fear is the fear system saying, Leia needs to stay away from danger. If I make Leia scared, Leia will not, let me think here, because I know what he's thinking. If Leia knows about this fear, she will pick at it. I'm going to say poke at it. I need to hide this fear from Leia first and then make her protect it. So there's fear motivation to get you to avoid, and then there's turning you against your own whatever it's decided so that you'll fight to protect it. So this is an avoidant tactic. And the fear system does this. This is not you. This is all the subconscious mind. This is an avoidant tactic. But for the level 1 fears, you, Leia, are turned into the soldier to protect it and preserve it.
So that's like when you that's when you have like a panic attack and you don't know why.
Yes. Yeah. A kind of panic attack is I feel trapped. That's what a panic attack is. I feel trapped. It's an absolute slavery. You're a slave.
Mm-hmm.
So with level 1s, they don't just want you to avoid it. They want you to fight to protect it. So in order to do that, they put it into your belief system, but it's really a fear in disguise. So we need to downgrade it from a level 1 to a level 2. Then we can address it. This is vital to addressing limiting beliefs. First, we have to find it. Then we have to downgrade it. Then we have to soothe it. That is what we are doing. But when we do this, the subconscious mind is going to fight us. The subconscious mind is going to deter us, distract us, gives us amnesia, and shut down. This is what this lovely little creature is going to do. This is what we're up against. I feel like I'm debriefing you. All right, we're going to go into this thing, and this is how we're going to do it, and this is the map, and this is the plan. It's a rescue mission. Well, not really, because we've got identity out. So this is what we're up against, is we are going inside the subconscious mind. We are looking for a logical fallacy that causes you high emotion, panic, anger, defensiveness. And we're going to have the subconscious mind deterring us, distracting us, having amnesia, and shutting it down. And then we have to downgrade, find it, downgrade it, and then soothe it. Then you can eat.
Mm-hmm.
And when we find it and we do it properly, it'll be instantaneous. But you are rocking, so you are triggered. So you're already having a problem. So we're going to wait and address your needs. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm chilling.
All right. You're rocking, which tells me that you are trying to soothe yourself, which means we need to stop and do some self-care. We do not have to do this right now. This is me just debriefing you as to the plan. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
How does it look to you? How does it feel?
What?
The plan.
It looks good to me.
Okay. Are you scared about this?
No. That's not it.
What is it?
I don't know.
I don't know is always, that's the amnesia. I don't know is always the amnesia. Always. You do know, I can show you how to coax the subconscious mind so you can get the answer. But then the subconscious mind might shut you down and you might blank out and no longer process. But just keep in mind, that is the subconscious mind. Absolutely. It's already working. The subconscious mind is already up. It's learning and it's going, oh, they're figuring me out. Oh, shit. That's what the subconscious mind is doing right now. It is very predictable.
Yep.
It's when I do this with so many people. I'll do this with my partner and I'll watch his subconscious mind. Oh, shit. It's figuring me out. Oh. And the thing is, when I'm spot on, the subconscious mind gets more desperate. And it's like, yeah, because I'm literally ratting it out.
That's crazy.
That it's hilarious. This is my favorite part of my job. This is it right here. When I rat out your subconscious mind and it goes, oh, it says me. And it does every time. It's on to me. And I'm like, really? The first time I did it, I was like, did you just? And then I started doing it more and more. And I'm like, son of a bitch, the subconscious mind actually does a whole, they're on to me. And it's hilarious. It really is. But once you understand how it moves, oh, it's predictable. It's like every scripted, like, mystery novel of the butler's the one who did it. It's the subconscious mind. And it's like, oh, they're on to me. And it starts freaking out because it's like, no, I worked so hard to put this thing together and you're taking it apart. And it's like, all right. So that's where we need to soothe the subconscious mind. That's a whole, let's stop everything and let's talk to the subconscious mind, because the subconscious mind is scared. And it's going, this is in place to keep her safe. It doesn't keep you safe. If it kept you safe, you'd be eating. The subconscious mind has its own logical fallacy. It thinks it can take care of you better than you. And the thing is, it can't. It can only, this is important, subconscious mind. The subconscious mind can only take care of you better than you if you are not aware. The minute you become aware, the subconscious mind becomes inadequate at protecting you. Suddenly, it's not doing a good enough job to keep you safe. This is actually an argument I used against my subconscious mind, where I said, it's you, the ego, versus me. And one of us is the one who's got to take care of this unit. And you're not doing a good job, but I can. And my subconscious mind did this whole, no, that's not true. I can do it. If you can do it, then why do I have all of these symptoms? Bottom line, you're not eating, you're losing weight, and you're feeling sick. The subconscious mind is not doing a good job keeping you safe. It's actually shutting you down and destroying you, because it's not doing a good enough job. That's not what it's for. The ego is the one who is responsible for this. It's like a king shows up at its kingdom and says, I'm here to rule. And the advisor says, well, you're not a good ruler. I have to rule because you're not a good ruler. The advisor might say, well, you haven't been here to rule. You're a bad ruler. I am here now. And this is what I was made to do. That's what the ego is for. The ego, the conscious awareness, is supposed to do this. And it does it very well if it knows about its job. And that's education. Education is knowing about its job. That's all triadic healing does. Really, that is all that triadic healing does, is it teaches people how to manage their kingdom and putting their ego in charge. It's giving the keys back to the kingdom to say, you're the king of this whole thing. It's time you take the throne. Because the subconscious mind is doing it, and the subconscious mind is not supposed to be doing this, which is why there's so many problems. Because the subconscious mind is doing a job that it's not supposed to be doing. All the subconscious mind is supposed to be doing is processing these cognitive core. But because the ego failed to use the identity and the defense system properly, because of abuse, the subconscious mind went into a full, oh, we just lost the king. Our king is lost. I got to do something different. And what it came up with was inadequate. Let me take a picture of this, and then I'm going to shut it down. Okay. I don't know how to do this. There we go. There we go. All right. Okay. So this was just giving you the information and the roadmap to your subconscious mind so we can get started. We don't have to get started right now because that's a lot of information. And you've got 3 signs here that tell me you are not ready to start executing the plan.
What do you mean?
What do you clarify?
What do you mean there are signs?
Oh, honey, you got 3 signs right now that tells me that your subconscious mind is highly defensive and you do not wage war in the subconscious mind while the subconscious mind is defensive.
What do you mean? What signs?
You're holding the unicorn. You've been rocking and you've been very quiet just doing this. You're already half shut down.
It's a weighted unicorn.
I know. And when I see you holding it, and when I see you rocking, and when I see you quiet and closed, there's no identity present right now. This is all this. Huh?
Was I quiet?
Yeah, you are quiet.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure, honey. I'm sure. Loud Leah, happy Leah, identity Leah is loud and long and all over, and it's beautiful. This is not identity Leah. And that's okay. Your defenses are up. Your subconscious mind is at the forefront going, they're going to start attacking me. They're planning an attack. They are planning an attack. I've worked hard for this and they're planning an attack. Yeah. And I'm going, all right. So we're just going to give the subconscious mind its space. We got to soothe it and calm it down. We're going to have a conversation later with the subconscious mind.
Okay.
And then we're going to start going into the subconscious mind and start picking apart those logical fallacies. But don't focus on the symptoms. The plan for now is eat whatever you can. Whatever you can. And if you can't, be gentle with yourself. Because whenever you are not nice to yourself, you're attacking your subconscious mind, which reaffirms it needs its defenses. And that is it right there, is you've got self-loathing. So your fear system hits the red alert because it's under attack from you. It's civil war. It's civil duress. And then the subconscious mind puts in more fears, reaffirms that there is danger, And the only danger now is you. And then you self-loathe. You self-hate. And then it reaffirms, and that's the cycle. So every time you self-loathe, that is the problem. So when you try and eat and your system won't eat, understanding why, it's not you, honey. You are Leia, the identity. Leia, the subconscious mind, Leia, the fear system, Leia, the symptoms, is the subconscious mind's defense because it has a logical fallacy in it. And every time you self-loathe, you reawaken and re-alert and restart its defense system. So you're going to have the same problems again. So in order to reverse it, you need compassion for yourself. You need pity for yourself. Compassion, pity, and empathy. So every time you get sick, it should be, oh, sweetheart, it's okay. Rub your back and say, it's all right. Go ahead and throw up, honey. You're all right. Be gentle. It needs the gentleness so that the gentleness can communicate that it's safe. Laugh. Communicate that it's okay and that it's safe. And then the more you do that, compassion, pity, empathy, kindness, be kind. These are the actions and the things that communicate to the subconscious mind that it's safe. When it realizes it's safe, it'll let you, it'll restore your cognitive health so that you can access that logical fallacy. But if you're going, I'm such a loser, I'm an idiot, I hate myself, that's going to build up the defense and you're not getting it. This is why what we think about ourselves is vital to breaking this.
Yeah.
If you're feeling up to it and you are poking around in your cognitive core later, the kind of logical fallacy you're looking for is, if I eat, then X happens. We don't know the rest of that sentence. If I eat, then. I have only the first half of that sentence.
What's the question?
If I eat, then. If I put something in my mouth, then. I don't know what then means. I don't know. You're going to have to figure that out.
Okay.
But that's part of the logical fallacy. Or it's eating means, or putting something in my mouth equals, it's a formula you're looking for. And it's very core, very simple, very basic. Very simple. And it's enough to completely set out an entirely new invasive perspective. It's gonna be simple. You're looking for a false premise.
If I eat, then I'm unworthy.
There you go. There it is. Does it feel right? Are you certain that's the right one? Is your invasive perspective screaming, yes, that is correct? What is the feeling?
If I eat, then I'm not worth anything.
There There, you're okay. There we are. There it is. Wow. I had the same one. I had the same one. I had the same one. I need to process all of this. There's a lot here. Let me just sit with it for a minute. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm fine.
You know what you just said to me?
No.
It's the exact same logical fallacy that my partner has. It's the same logical fallacy that alcoholics have. It's the logical fallacy that causes the first ethic. But I resolved mine before I did the theory on it, so I lost it. You got it back for me. It's about your worth. All right. This is about your self-worth. This is not about food. The subconscious mind used food literally to distract from your self-worth. See it? The food was a distraction. Self-mutilation. Go ahead, say. Go ahead.
If I eat, then I'm not worth anything. And getting food when I don't worth it is.
Yep. There it is.
Okay.
Yep. Take it all in. Take it all in. We've now taken it from a logical fallacy and we're downgrading it to an actual fear. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to sit with it for a minute. How are you doing? Do a check-in with yourself. Do you need anything? You're changing the rewiring in your nervous system. Literally, it's rewiring right now. That's the shock and the epiphany. Whenever we have an epiphany, we have hormones that go inside of our brain that rewires our nervous system. So just sit with it and let your chemicals do what your little chemistry lab needs to do, okay? If you need to take a break, we should do that. If you just want to sit with it, that's okay too. Yeah. Deep breath. Yep. You feel the relief. Yeah. Yep. Yep. The food is a distraction. The alcohol, any addiction, self-mutilation, it's all distraction. That is how the subconscious mind uses red herrings so we don't figure this out. So now the question is, what do you get by not having self-worth? Because you gain something, your subconscious mind gains something by you not having self-worth. So what do you gain? This is where our brains are 100% all about resources and economics.
Then I've let everyone down. Then I'm a failure.
Failure. Oh, that failure. Yep, I've heard that one so many times. Disappointment. You are just reconfirming a lot. Basically, you just connected the dots. I've got all this data over here. I never even thought of the first perspective. I was trying to figure out how all this so you just connected this massive chunk and it went, oh, there it is. It's all fitting together. The failure, the disappointment. What else? You'll let everyone down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you need to take a minute?
No.
All right. All right, let's take a minute to meditate for just a minute. Let's just do some breathing, okay? Deep breath in.
Mm-hmm.
You are safe. You are safe. You are loved. You are wanted. You belong. There is space for you. Deep breath in. And out. Just sit with it for a minute, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Eating, failure, disappointment, letting everyone down. What happens if you let everyone down? What is the consequence of letting everyone down?
Abandonment.
I'm sorry?
Abandonment.
Abandonment. Okay. Fear of rejection. Yep. All right. This, by the way, is like an emotional pathway that is literally like stepping stones all the way to your food. So by laying out this pathway, we can start reverse engineering this emotional pathway to start correcting it. Okay. Now rejection and abandonment. Do you know? I know from here on out, I know the path. But let's see if you can do the logic inside of you, because it's better if you can do the logic. So rejection and abandonment, do you know what that really is about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's not, well, it might be scary. There's a solution for it. There is a solution.
So my subconscious mind is hiding this part from me because it's bad.
Not really. We don't have words for it. I had to invent the words. The words that I invented is what I call belonging, conditional belonging. What this comes down to is safety in numbers. This is an old
Oh my
fear.
God, I understand.
There it is. Do you want to elaborate or do you want to stay quiet? Whatever you're comfortable with. You call the shots right now. I'm going to tell you right now,
I'm
you have a place to
quiet.
belong. You are safe. I
I
did not
guess.
hear. I'm sorry. I did not hear what you say. I keep interrupting you and I'm sorry. What is it?
I think I'm gonna stay quiet for now.
That's okay. Stay quiet. Stay quiet. Absolutely. Okay. This is for you to process. I don't need to know it. Okay.
Am I really that quiet?
Yes, sweetheart. You're very quiet and that's okay. You process it all. Just take your time and you don't have to share anymore. It's important that you know this stuff. Okay. And that is the core of it, by the way. Once you get to belonging, that is the core of it. But you have to understand how food links to this. Once you understand the emotional path, that's a lot of the work right there. That's it. Now we just maybe tweak it a little bit. We take it out. Your subconscious mind will do the rest of the work for you. It's all automated. This is how we learn.
Wow. Very cool.
In summary, you had to choose between food or having a community.
Oh my God. I know when this occurred.
You can tell me whatever you are comfortable with. It's all, you are in control. You make the choices. You can stay silent. You can share. It's all up to you. But be mindful if you do choose to share. Don't allow yourself to get triggered. Okay. And if you do, I'm going to help guide you back. Okay.
When my mom got really sick, when she got CRPS, and I had to take care of Tima, and my dad would only come home to sexually assault me. He, um, I had to feed Tima and I had to do everything. But as soon as my dad would come home, we were finally like, not allowed to eat. So like I was the behind everyone's back, like bring food to Tima, feed that kid, she needs to grow. And I never had time to eat, and like I wasn't allowed to eat, and like I didn't eat. So, and I would get in huge trouble for it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
And then
Look at my eyes. Look at my eyes, honey. You're all right. You're safe now. You are safe. Everything's going to be okay. Everything is okay.
yeah,
I have done a lot of work on the psychology of belonging.
and then he would tell tell my
Mhm.
mom stuff about me.
Yeah. Okay.
And then my mom would obviously get really upset.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And like
Yeah.
for years when I was trying to get my mom and ask her for help, she said that I was a liar.
Oh,
And
yeah.
like I'm just thinking now that kid, you can't lie about stuff like that. You can't lie about like
And
oh my God.
yeah, I am yeah, yeah.
One
Lying.
would listen and I just wanted
Yes. Yeah.
mm,
Yeah. You are correct.
I was so young.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. Do you know
Yeah,
how
that's
old you were?
9, 10 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. Allow the logic to fall right through. Your feelings are right. Your
Yeah.
logical deductions are correct. Absolutely. When we understand, we get to see the real truth. And then we get to name what really happened to us. And that's when we can understand it and go, oh, that makes sense now. And then we're fine. It slides right off our shoulders after that.
And
It's
then
not, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
my grandma, if she cooks, you have to eat it. You have to eat it. You have no choice if you like it or not. And if you don't eat it, then you don't get food. And I,
You're okay. Eye contact. Look at me, honey. You're okay. You are here now. You're safe. You have a place to belong. Okay. You have a place to belong. You're safe now. Everything is okay now. Okay. You're going to be all right now. Everything's fine. Okay. You're safe. You're loved. You can be and do whatever you need. And you are going to be loved no matter what. You're going to belong no matter what. Okay. There are people for you. And now you can find them, and there's no problems with that. Okay? You're safe now. Eye contact. Look at my eyes. Look at my eyes. Everything is going to be okay.
It's all about identity.
It's always about identity. It's always about identity. Yes.
Because if I didn't eat, I'd get skinny.
Yeah.
And then I think
it is literally.
And then I would be worthless because of.
Yeah. It's okay to cry if you need to cry.
Can't cry.
Okay, that's fine too.
It won't happen.
And that's okay. Now, this is where we're going to go through. You're going to experience possibly the stages of grief, which is your shock, awe, stunned, raw, and then you're going to start to feel it, and then expect the anger to come in. And this is the adjusting of the perspective. It's the removal of the invasive perspective. When we remove a logical fallacy, the whole invasive perspective has to come out. When that happens, it's going to go through the proper processing. The logical fallacy got removed finally after 10 years, and that's going to click into place, and it's all going to continue processing the memory to get to the correct perspective, your perspective. So it's going to take a couple days. It might be like 2 or 3 days, but in a few hours, like tonight, expect to be really angry. Let it. That's okay. Expect to feel depression, expect to feel anger, expect all of it. Okay?
How could
Now,
they do that?
Say that again.
How could they?
Follow the logic. How could they? Follow the most logical answer. How could they do it?
How could they?
Yeah. What's the logical answer?
I don't know.
Trust your logic.
I don't know.
This is where I say logical insanity. It doesn't make sense, not to your perspective, and it doesn't have to. Sometimes we don't get to figure things out. And it's understanding that that's not your logic, it's theirs. And sometimes people function on a lack of logic that just doesn't make sense to us. Now, I can break it down and give you my hypothesis as to why they did it, but doesn't matter. And if it does matter, we can go through it.
It does matter.
It does matter. It is a feeling of control because they lack resources or they feel threatened from a lack of resources. In your time that your mother was going through that horrible condition, it probably made your father and your mother both feel scarcity more than usual because she was sick. So to feel more in control, they found other ways to comfort themselves and hoard more resources. So they transferred, they projected their need to control onto you. And they were taught to control through sexual abuse and hoarding of resources. That's why. Does it make sense? You have to understand the logic. We have to understand the logic. It has to make sense. It's when it doesn't make sense that we're going, I'm stuck. And you get stuck in that moment of logic because we have to have a logical story in our past, present, and future in order to proceed comfortably through life. The story must make sense. Trust your logic and your emotions to deduce on your own. And if you don't understand something, it's because you lack knowledge and information. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else. Okay? You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just highly allergic to illogic. We all are. We are all highly allergic to illogic.
Wow.
We're story beings, which is why we all feel relief when we go, that makes so much sense. It's relief with logic. That's all. That's it. How are you feeling?
Doing good.
Yeah. I'm going to call this done. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.